Welcome to Immigration Quicktake. This is Jessica Eyes with the American Immigration Lawyers Association. Joining us today is the Executive Director of the American Immigration Council, Ben Johnson, who testified just this morning before the Subcommittee on Immigration and Border Security. Ben, what was the purpose of this morning's hearing?
So today's hearing was called Enhancing American Competitiveness Through Skilled Immigration. It really was an opportunity, I think, to have a constructive dialogue about how do we use the immigration system to create a more competitive economy, a more competitive labor force, and how do we figure out how we do a better job of competing in the global battle for talent and really becoming a powerhouse in the 21st century.
I understand that you reviewed research that addresses some of the common misconceptions about the impact of immigration on native-born workers. Can you highlight some of these?
First and foremost is the myth that immigrants are depressing wages or taking jobs away from American workers. The reality is that the overwhelming evidence shows that immigrants complement the native-born workforce and that their presence here in our labor force increases the wages of all workers. Really, foreign-born workers and native-born workers working side by side make our economy more effective. They make our labor force more efficient. They allow us really to create the most dynamic, the most flexible, the most creative workforce the world has ever seen. That's the way that it's always been, and I think really the challenge in immigration reform is to make sure that we maintain that competitive edge and that spirit of drawing the best and the brightest from around the world.
Thank you. And Ben, you also testified this morning on some of the problems with the current immigration system, correct?
So today's hearing really was focused on high-skilled immigration and what are the challenges that we confront in improving high-skilled immigration to the United States. But I definitely took the opportunity to say that lots of times the world's best and brightest come to the United States not only through the employment-based channels of immigration, but through family-based immigration, and sometimes through asylee and refugee processing. And in fact, many of the talented people in the United States could come from the undocumented population. We certainly have seen many instances of some very intelligent, very bright people who have risen from an undocumented status to become valuable contributors in our economy. That being said, the primary focus, again, was about high-skilled immigration, and we made the case that the simple fact is that the United States has not the right kind and not the right amount of visas that we need to be competitive at the high-skilled level. We need to stop counting family in the employment-based immigration. We need to provide avenues for family members of high-skilled immigrants to work. We need to improve green card processing. We need to raise the numbers in the H-1B category. So we really had an opportunity to discuss most of the issues that are confronting the high-skilled immigration system, as well as making the case for the value of family.
Thank you, Ben, for joining us today to discuss this morning's hearing. For the rest of you, please stay tuned for more updates through Immigration Quicktake from the American Immigration Lawyers Association.